Hey, Ruth, glad you joined us this morning. Daniel, good to see you, buddy. So it looks like we are up and operational on YouTube. I'm going to push the record button and away we go. And so, yeah, please, thank you for responding on the chat, in the chat board, because I won't see the questions once we get going. Okay, good day, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn with the Active Trend Traders. I want to welcome you to today's session on how to make money trading stocks. This is the weekly live session we have. Dr. Steve will not be joining us today. He is enjoying the holidays with his family, and so, but he did give me a couple of stock picks. Have you been following? I hope you've been following Steve's stock picks every week. It's been he's done a really great job. Steve brings what I would consider the classic IBD growth stock type of approach, which is really great. And he comes up with usually one good stock pick every week. Of course, I'm looking at we've done some significant revisions in what we're providing with active trend trading going forward into the new year. And I'm really pleased with it. Our strategy 1 and strategy 2 have done really well this year. And so we'll be continuing to provide more of that. Just remember that bad habits are easy to form and difficult to get rid of. At all times, be discerning and wary of what you are rehearsing, because we can, in fact, rehearse what will absolutely kill our trading on individual trades and also overall larger trades. Remember that, just our disclaimer is still what it has always been, that we provide our material for training purposes. Traders should always pay for trading a new method part of the risk of their own personal capital. So what are we looking at? There's 2 more days after today left to trade in 2019. While this sounds a little bit foolish, some people roll the dice the last 2 days of the year. I encourage you not to do that. I encourage you to basically just, whatever the year has given you, use it and just take that, journal what you're going to be doing differently next year. I'm going to really be emphasizing moving into 2020. It's weird to say 2020, but that's what it is coming up on. I'm going to be emphasizing how our attitudes, our habits, and our beliefs shape how well we do in the stock market. In other words, if we've got crummy attitudes and basically poor habits, and also really, poor beliefs, it impacts the way you perform in the market. It impacts the way you would be choosing your stocks. It impacts everything. And the thing about it is our attitudes, our habits, and our beliefs actually have shaped the decisions we make to put us wherever we are in life right now. And so we'll be, covering that. I'm going to hit on talking about that throughout the year. Please jump in every weekend for the free session. If you can't join us here, please go over to our let me show you where it's at. Go over to my YouTube channel, Market Tech Talk. Help me, share this information to get my subscribers up over 1,000. I would like to get them up over 1,000 subscribers and this is all free, of course, get it up to subscribers over 1,000 within the first 2 months of 2020. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button right here. Listen to this guy. He's down at the beach talking about how great it is to be an active trend trader. But anyway, subscribe here. And then if you want to get notification of when I'm posting new stuff to the website, just click the little bell that comes along with the subscriber. You see it up here, this little bell. And that will basically provide you a notification of something new has been posted to the website or to the YouTube channel, or when I do the live sessions, you'll also get a notification with that. Over on our regular website, please become at least a Power Elite member, which is basically you get the watch list free that I work on every week. I go through over 500 stocks to come up with the best, 15 or 20. And then, and I provide those back to our free members. Now, if you want if you want the secret sauce, you have to go in and become at least a member that is the Elite Top 5. And you can find that right here. And also on our free stuff, it basically takes you and lets you see where the you log in, go here, and it will take us and show you the tier 1 member dashboard. And it will provide you, here's our Power Ranked Elite watch list from last week. And then also a little bit of a, basically the recording of this live webinar will be posted there also, along with, what do I have here? Oh, the Power Rank Elite watch list. Here you can go get the full watch list. And then here you can get the Power Elite running list. Every stock that has shown up on the IBD 50 since the beginning of the year will show up on that list. And so a lot of people utilize that to shape their watch list going forward. So I wanted to highlight that to you. You just basically go to the Active Trend Trading watch list, or go to Active Trend Trading list, log in. You got to go to the members dashboard, and that'll take you to those other places. The free videos and stuff, yeah, we're going to be continuing to do that. But if you want to get the good stuff, you got to log in as a member. So let's proceed onward. What are we doing? We are looking at what's going on with the index. NASDAQ tends to, of course, get the bid up into the end of the year, which we're seeing right now. We're getting a little bit of a sell-off today, but nothing significant. And then lastly, look what happens at the beginning of the year with NASDAQ. It usually goes a little flat, a little bit, or just consolidation, digesting what's ever happened for the year. And again, the chart of the yearly NASDAQ isn't going to look like this exactly, but this gives us key points along the way where seasonality can make a big impact on what's going on with the index. Each of the indexes has one of these seasonality charts that I keep my eye on. Gold, okay, whoops, let's go back to gold. Gold, normally we get a little bit of a kick up here. Gold also tends to go on a nice run the first 2 months of the year. So if you're a gold bug, you want to be looking at opportunities to buy gold and or the gold miners going into the beginning of the year. We'll see how that works out. And then lastly, okay, we don't have 6 days. We've got 2 more days. And I'll just correct that right now as long as we're here. There we go. We have 2 more trading days in 2019. That'll be Monday and Tuesday. What can we look out for? We can look for basically a lot of volatility to happen as the institutions bring on and put on their window dressing for the end of the year. What does that mean, window dressing? What that means is they basically, if they have a mutual fund or whatever that, what they're trading, that's supposed to emulate the S&P 500. Well, they need to balance that mutual fund to match the S&P 500. If they also have one that's technology driven or transportation driven, they will balance things out. And so you'll see a lot of jumping with the indexes. Like you'll see, the stocks that they need to have in place. That's where you'll see a lot of action taking place going into the end of the year. So lastly, okay, moving right along. Here was our Power Ranked Elite list from last week. And we basically, there was some really good movement throughout this list. And if Dr. Steve was with us today, he'd be talking about how INMD, JP Morgan, he also had, what was his other list for me? ALNG, which is not here, and JCOM isn't there either. But he would be chatting about, something that was typically on this list. So with that said, let's go over and let's take a look at the index. Some of you know why I have team up there as we're paying attention to. Okay, let me get my drawing kit. Well, what do we see going on here? I've got the daily chart here on the right, the weekly chart here on the left. It is very clear that prices have extended up, are continuing to extend up. They are getting well away from the moving average. At some point, okay, you would anticipate a pullback at least towards the mean. And that may be also the top of this trend line that described the megaphone top that has now been blown out. That's what we're anticipating. What am I looking at? I want to trade pullbacks. Trade back, right now, pullbacks have worked, pulling them back to the 20 or the 8-day moving average. It appears as if, based on what we see here, that we're getting a little bit of negative divergence from the past high over here on the True Strength Index. However, nothing is saying that this market is going to go, drastically down. I would be looking for, let's get over to the Qs, simulating the NASDAQ, a little bit more greater volatility. And you can see still, there is no bearish candlestick at all going on here. It's just simply I have reached a new high and I would like to come back down. Let's quickly throw on, and this is the way we can do this. You can take one of your last major moves. We can either take this one from here or this one from here. Let's take the most recent one, which would basically be from this high. Hope I'm doing that right, Puka. Yeah, from this high here, down to this low there. Give us some idea. As you can see, we are extended almost up to the 2618. And that's where, that could be a hidden level of resistance where we could get a turnaround and a really nice pullback. Where would I be targeting? Where does the Qs become interesting to me? Well, they become interesting when they at least get a pullback in between the 8 and the 20. They become even more interesting if I get down here closer to the 50, which is going to be about the 205 level. As you can see, we have several levels that you need to be paying attention to that go across this top right here, which is about the 206 level. So anything that jumps down to this 206 level, we can throw on an alert that if prices get back down below that 206 level, look for the potential of an entry with a good reversal. So that's the Qs. Let's see what we've got going for the IWM. This is the Russell. Russell again has continued to, okay, as you see with the Russell, it has been it had been the lagging index for basically the whole year, ever since, we got a nice little bounce up, but then it just went sideways. Now, within this sideways move, there were some very tradable opportunities with the Russell or IWM as the surrogate for the Russell, but a nice bounce up here. And it was running, this was about, if I'm not mistaken, this was about give you a ballpark on this. That was about a 10%, little channel that was going on there. Somewhere 10, let me grab the low there. It was about 10%. So if you were trading one of the leverage ETFs, that would be about a 30% move. What are we getting here in the daily chart though? A little bit different type of story. One, a bearish engulfing of the daily chart, but stopping right at the 8. TSI, rolling over and crossing, okay? Now, does that mean we're gonna just fall out of the sky? I don't anticipate that happening at this point, but what I would see happening, this may give us a healthier pullback. Where to? Well, we've got the 20 here. We've got this moving average here. That is, let me extend that to the right. That moving average there. So they may all combine towards the end of next week at about 165 or 164. If we drop that, which would be fine, we've got some support here. Let me show you the support here, right off of this high right there at the 162. So anything that comes down into that range, and you can see by my little golden triangle here, I have an alert set if I pull back into that area. And then what would I do from there? You know, the door's wide open. I can basically take a trade on the TNA, or I can do options, or I can actually even buy IWM. Some people just will buy IWM and they'll do something with that and just hang on to it. So that's what we've got going on with IWM. Now, I would be remiss if I did not talk about the stock that Steve wanted me to talk about. So let me go in here. He said that he was having a hard time finding stock, and I appreciate that, because he's getting impacted by the same thing a lot of the rest of us are, getting impacted by the window dressing activities that's going on with the institutions, institutional buying. So let's take a look here. Steve mentioned ALGN. There we go. Now, of course, that is a line technology. As you can see, it's just hanging out. It has, you know, look at the weekly, came down, hit a low, has bounced back up now. Looks like it wants to take off from here. It is, you know, I would not buy it where it's at, because it's right up at support. But if it pulls back, you know, if you're interested in this kind of thing, if it pulls back down to the 8 or to the 20, about the 172, that's when it would be interesting. The other one that he mentioned was V. V again. V and MasterCard, this is Visa, MasterCard, MA, so showing similar type situation as earnings coming up on 129. Look, you know, it needs to get some kind of pullback towards a breakout level. And it's already done one of those where it broke out here, it pulled right back to it 3 days and then bounced. So you can take this breakout level, about the 186.94 level would be where V would become interesting. And last but not least, JCOM. JCOM. Of the stocks, this one looks kind of promising. The issue with this is that the price action is below the 50, but it's trying to push on up. It has earnings coming up on 211, and and you can also just draw in a nice little trend line right here. Want to go this high? No. This high. Want to go this high and on down. And you can see it's really flirting with that. But let's just see how this plays out over the next couple of this is a, yeah, this does not have weekly options. And so 211 for the, but it does do a nice job of moving. If it does break out of this, what kind of a expected move can you get? You know, let's just take it from about here, back up these sides. It's about 7. That would be to get back up to the, you know, the last high. And from over on the weekly chart, this last move up over multiple weeks was about a 26% gain. So, you know, really not bad, because if once we get into this low here, that move back up might take us up, and I'll give you a target for it. Now, my wife never wants me to use these Fibonacci extensions, but dadgummit, they work so nicely. I'm going to come there, I'm going to come there. And as you can see, the 100%, that would be symmetry with that move there, would take us up to 112.25. So I'll let you write down that for a potential upside target. Is it going to get there overnight? Heavens no. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks to get there the first time it went. So just be aware of that. And there's a couple of good trade ideas for you to take into the weekend. So, okay. As I've said, hey, free members of Active Trend Trading get access to this watch list every week. But we have now a new membership level. It is $219 a year or $19.99 per month. And what it does, it will provide you every week with my top. I take basically over 500 stocks, condense it into this list, and then I basically condense one more time so the gold nuggets come out. And this is how the list from the beginning of the year did. And you can see some of the very recognizable names: Now, Team, Cyber, ABGL, KL. And they all, here's when the entries happen. And again, this was the first list of the year, January. And I provide this top 5 list along with my the list of orders on where I'm entering and also what my stop loss will be. And you get that in an email in a table format every week. And so I think this week we were trading in, I don't think any of the trades we wanted to get into this week were actually filled. We did exit some of the positions that we had in, what was the one? Hold on a second. We had earlier entered positions on Paycom and Now, and we exited half a position on Paycom this past week. So, as I said, we're restructuring membership. So save on, if you want to become a premium Active Trend Trading member, it's a great time to do that also. I promise you one thing is once you become a premium member, we will never raise your membership dues. So that will stay the same. There will be changes coming up in the structure of the membership in 2020. However, you get in now, it's in there for life, as long as you hang in there. So, hey, if you need a speaker for your group, let me know. I can customize meeting for you in person or via the webinar. We will kick off the BAM, Bay Area Moneymakers meeting webinars January 4th. 2020, your best year for breakthrough and prosperity is the title that one's going to be. And then monthly here in Honolulu, we do our IBD meetup in Honolulu, and I work with Steve Ferreira, and Steve covers stocks, I cover options, and that's a great one if you know anybody here in Hawaii who wants to learn how to trade some stocks. So that's a good live meeting. Well, actually, it's a live group meeting that meets downtown Honolulu. So that's just invitation only webinar, Swing Trading Secrets, first week in 2020. So sometime next week will be, or well, actually the week after will be the first full week in 2020 is when we're doing that. If you want an invitation to that, please send me an email and I will invite you into that. So last but not least, as I said earlier, please act to lock in your pricing if you are interested in a premium membership by January 1st. And basically, there's what it is. You save 40% off a monthly membership. You can save an additional $675 by doing the quarterly, or another 8% by doing a yearly membership, and that's for $729. If you've signed up at a higher rate membership in the past, please go ahead and feel free to convert over now before we start, that way you can take advantage of these prices here. And it's a monthly value of over $1,900 per month. And so, hey, we're looking to continue towards a strong finish in 2019 and an exceptionally strong start in 2020. How we have shaped the new offerings or our focus in the active trend trading to basically focus on stocks and ETFs, simple. And then also our strategic compounding And that strategic compounding account, we started with $10,000 in that at the beginning of the year. It is up over $52,000, up to $52,000 now, in excess of a 400% gain. That's trading options. So well worth taking a look at those. If you want to have more information, drop me a line. Here's my email down here, dww@activetrendtrading.com. There's what that is. And so if you're a premium member, stand by. We'll be back at the top of the hour to finish up do the final hour of the final Friday of the decade. It will be memorable. So until next time, hey guys, have a great weekend. Again, last one of the decade. So mahalo, God bless everybody, and aloha. So, oh, Harry, Eric, and I will come back in here. Okay. And Barry, to answer your question on the JCOM, I did come back and check the question. Is the JCOM, that was Steve's selection. I mean, I know I'm passing the buck a little bit on that, but he's been watching that for a while. It's going to have to do a reversal and start proving itself. And so, but that was that's what Steve was having a hard time finding something to talk about. So that's one of the ones that's on his radar. And will this webinar be available afterwards? Yes, it will. Eric, you can get that at 2 different places, and I'll just, it will be posted to the website. And I'll go back and show you where that will be posted at first. Thanks, Barry. Let me show you where it'll be posted to. Let me go here. It will be posted to the web. It'll be posted to here, to my YouTube channel, Market Tech Talk. Where does it show up? It basically will show up as it will show up actually right here, because this is what members, non-members get to look at. Once they subscribe, they basically can see all the videos. And the second place will be listed is here in the free. You have to log on to the website. You go to the free Tier 1 members, and after it's edited, I'll post it there sometime a little bit later today. So with that, I bid you adieu and have a great weekend. Aloha. God bless everybody.